What is going on, guys? It is Jet95 Gamer here, and we're back with episode 78 of my West Ham United Next Gen Career Mode. And we do start the episode here with Danny Ings coming into the office and saying thank you for putting him back into the team, and basically saying that he don't mind missing the occasional game, etc, etc. But we do go into probably the biggest game of the episode here. Not probably the biggest game of the episode, it is the biggest game of the episode. It is Juventus versus West Ham United in the second leg of the Champions Cup quarter-final tie. You know, this is a massive game for us because obviously it was 1-1 on the night at Upton Park, and Juventus do have the upper hand, meaning that West Ham have to score here in Turin at Juventus Stadium to have any chance of making it into the semi-finals of the Champions League or Champions Cup, whatever you want to call it. It's a very good team from Juventus. Like I said, they've got Tevez, Suarez, Vidal, Marquisio. It's a very strong side, and hopefully we can get the beating of them in this game. 14 minutes in, Oscar does pick up the ball here for West Ham. Great bit of footwork there. You know, he makes some space for himself, takes his shot from range, and does actually make it 1-0. 14 minutes in with a spectacular goal. You know, I've been talking about getting replacements, like, as you know, your Kevin De Bruyne's, your Ross Barkley's, but do I really need to? Because he's just provided a quality goal there, a great individual goal. Akinfee's left asking what the hell happened there, because he's this star-studded midfield from Juventus, obviously with Vidal in that, just got absolutely torn apart by Oscar. You know, with some great dribbling ability. You know, you won't get sick of seeing that goal, I can tell you that now. 16 minutes in, Carlos Tevez picks up the ball for West Ham, a former West Ham player, but you know, he ain't West Ham player, he's a Juventus player, and he does drag his shot wide there on that occasion. Here comes Luke Shaw now onto the ball. Looks player 1-2 restrict, he does actually very well there. Luke Shaw continually needs to run forward here. He sees Suso in free spaces, like obviously Ogbonna had to get drawn to the attacking Shaw. Suso comes back into the box and makes a room for himself, and you know, he's been doing that all season. No one's picked up on it. You would think Juventus would pick up on this, you know, Suso being one of our deadly players, but no, they didn't, and it allowed Suso to get the cut inside with the space to make it 2-0, double West Ham's league before that 20-minute mark, and we've got 2 away goals just like that, and we're 3-1 up on aggregate now, and that Juventus have gone from being in such a strong position to such a weak position just like that, and it just shows how the difference in the two sides that I have that I've been building that. The one at Upton Park obviously had, I believe, like Timo Werner, you know, who is a great player, don't get me wrong, but that squad should probably, you know, it was a gamble to play him, but they just didn't have the strength to beat us there, you know, to beat Juventus, you know, get the deal done. But they still got the goal, and I'm proud of that. But moving on to the 30th minute, Corker now bring West Ham forward with a great tackle that allowed him to push forward on the pitch, plays it into Balotelli. Balotelli gets the beating of the defender there, and he's through on goal, and check that out for a call. You know, that is what you get. 50 million, that is what you get. He's provided a great goal against Juventus. Juventus obviously a team that should know a lot about Mario Balotelli, but there they just simply have not closed him down yet again, and it's allowed him to do that to him. Look at this, cuts inside, now he's got all the space in the world, and it's allowed him to just, you know, when you give him that kind of space, you might as well just let the goal go in. You know, there's no point trying to save it because you're not getting to that Akinfee. And the game's now 3-0. Into the second half now, Lucas picks up the ball. Great dribbling technique there from Lucas as he opens his body up for a shot, and that looked like it could have been hammering into the top corner there, but unfortunately it goes over the bar, and that is a opportunity wasted. But Akinfee for the goal kick out, passes it straight into one man you don't want to pass to, Mario Balotelli, you know, and with his ability, that's a cocky little finish into the goal with a chip over the goalkeeper and the defender. No chance. See you later, boys. 4-0 up, 5-1 up on aggregate. There is no way in God's green earth now that Juventus are coming back into this game. But you know, they're not going to give up here, and they come on the attack here with Marquisio. Marquisio has the ball placed into Simone Pepe, who come on off the bench last game and had an actual blinder. He plays it into Tevez, but unfortunately Courtois puts off a great save there, and what he's been doing all season since coming here. Courtois then clears the ball here, and you know, I've just picked him up, but he does actually clear it only as far as Luis Suarez. Suarez sees the ball into Marquisio. Marquisio takes the ball down, and that is now 4-1. Juventus not back in the game, but they get a consolation goal, and that makes the aggregate score 5-2 now. And that leaves me with my question of the day here. We're on the verge of winning this game here. You know, I don't think it's a doubt in anyone's mind that we're going to win this game. So here is the question: do West Ham need to strengthen any more next season? Do you think players should be coming in? You know, bearing in mind that the second team that did lose, well, didn't lose, but weren't that great against Juventus, and like this team is performing so well. So, do I need to get depth into the squad so I can have more players in positions, or do I think I should keep the squad as it is and graft it out? Let me know what you think. You know, I could start off a scouting network for the money I get next season. So yeah, tell me what you think. That's the question of the day. But we do win that game, and we do advance to the semi-finals of the Champions Cup. What a fixture that is! Chelsea's still in it, Barcelona's still in it, and so are FC Bayern. So this is the top teams left in it, you know, that, and except for Real Madrid, obviously. But we knocked them out, and that makes us a top team. We get 5 million for winning that game, and bringing on the semi-finals now. We're absolutely buzzing for it, and hopefully the team puts in a great performance. Danny White then comes to the office and says that he wants to discuss wages with the club, which I've got no problem doing. We do offer him a £6,000 a week contract from £2,000 plus on his £4,000 currently at, and offer him a year plus deal on his current contract there, and hopefully he will accept that. But we do go into our BPL fixture of the day, and obviously we are 8 points clear at the top of the BPL, and we are got a game against Aston Villa here, who are a team with great history, and we hope to see them back to the standard that they was a few years ago. But here's the team. I forgot, obviously, my bad, I skipped over it, but here's the starting line they've brought out here, and Andy Carroll returns to play at West Ham against West Ham at Villa Park. So let's see how this game goes. Vadan Januzaj picking up the ball here in the 7th minute. He does get tailed by Tonev. Tonev picks up the ball, plays it into Siem de Jong, I do believe. It goes over the top into Andy Carroll, who gets the ball away from James Tompkins. Through a goal, takes his shot, drags it just past the post there. And what a scene that would have been if Andy Carroll would have got a goal against us on that occasion. Morrison now picks up the ball here for West Ham. Plays the ball over the top to Vaz Te, takes the ball down really well there. It gets deflected back into the path of Ravel Morrison, who's got the ability to just skip past players there, and he gets sighted for goal and tries to chip the goalkeeper, looking for a classy goal there, but unfortunately it's safe into his hands. West Ham on the attack yet again here with Danny Ings onto the ball now. Here comes Danny Ings, he flicks it into Morrison's path, well, don't flicks it, plays it into Morrison's path, who cuts inside, lines up the shot, and does put the Hammers 1-0 up in this game here. 18 minutes gone, and Ravel Morrison gets his goal. Very well played there for the young lad. I'm very proud of him getting that goal, because he's a great talent, like I said, and he's been scoring in loads of games actually. So the question is, I was talking about getting a lot of cams in, but obviously getting the likes of Ross Barkley and De Bruyne in would mean that Ravel Morrison wouldn't have a part to play anymore at Upton Park, and that would mean we'd have to sell him, because he's definitely not going to be a player that wants to sit on the bench week in, week out. He's a great talent, and he scored his 2nd goal here too to make it 2-0 to West Ham, and he scores goals, and that's another question I want to ask. Here's a debate. Not a question, here's a debate. Is Rav good enough to stay at West Ham this season and the next season? Is he good enough to take West Ham through a period where I'm the manager and through glory? Is he that kind of player? Let me know. Is Rav the right player for West Ham? Let them know in the comment section down below. But anyway, we go into the 45th minute here, right on half time. Aston Villa do win a corner. It is cleared away from James Tompkins, only as far as Tonev. Tonev picks up the ball here, great bit of dribbling ability there, and check that out for a goal. That is just exquisite. You don't mind conceding goals like that, because that is just brilliant. Look at this. He just takes the ball down, and the finish is, Adrian, no chance in there. What a finish that was. I'm very pleased that we conceded, if we was going to concede a goal, it was a goal like that. But into the second half now, and Albrighton picks up the ball here. Great bit of skill there. He somehow blocks everyone off from getting that ball and wins it back, and he just takes his shot from range and scores another phenomenal goal for Aston Villa there to make it 2-2. And I was absolutely shocked here. I couldn't believe it. I was more disappointed with the defenders not being alert, because Albrighton was allowed to block off 2 defenders and stop him getting to that ball there and allow him to get that shot away. And Andy Carroll obviously has got every right to be celebrating in this game, because we did absolutely palm him off and told him he wasn't the player to take West Ham forward. It'll be interesting to see what rating he is too, because he was 82, I believe, when we parted ways with him for getting Christian Benteke in part of that swap and cash deal here. But Morrison doesn't get his hat-trick as he runs past players for fun here. Again, what he's been doing all game, he takes his shot. Is it going in? Oh, it's cleared off the line by Villa there, and that is great defending from them. Here comes West Ham again in the 72nd minute, plays it into Ricardo Vaz Te. Vaz Te sees that Werner run. Werner yet to make his mark on this game. Is he going to come now? Cuts back inside. He's trying to make space for himself. Plays it into Danny Ings. Ings back into Sebastian Roller, who lines up the shot from range. Great save there from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper then clears it out from a free kick. Tonev takes the ball down there. I don't know what the hell's happened to defence, but he's through on goal to make it 3-2 to Villa. He takes his shot. Cool, calm and composed there from the Villa man. And Tonev gets his 2nd of the game and makes it 3-2. To Aston Villa. They were 2-0 down at one point, guys. That's a common occurring thing I'm seeing with West Ham United. Poor passes out of defence leading to goals, which is something we need to capitalise on. We need to get the better of, and letting the leads slip. We've let it happen to Tottenham, let it happen to Chelsea before, and it's happening again here. Here comes Timo Werner on the ball, but he gets cut out by Lowton. Lowton trying to get rid of the ball, only as far as Timo Werner. It falls to Ricardo Vaz Te, who plays the ball into Roda, who's free in space there. Great bit of strength there to avoid the challenge of losing the ball. He sends his own ground and gets West Ham back in the game at 3-3 with 10 minutes left to go. This is an absolute goal fest, this episode here. Goals, goals, goals. And it's such a pleasure to see. I'm so glad to see everyone playing well here. Luis Eduardo picks up the ball here for West Ham. We lose in that 88th minute. Lowton picks up the ball, plays it into Sylvia. Sylvia plays it into Albrighton. Great flick into Tonev. Hat-trick hero. He's done it with a minute. Well, not even a minute. It's about 30 seconds left to go. And Tonev completes a remarkable hat-trick against the reigning champions here, and check that out for a goal. You know, take nothing away from him, but Aston Villa do walk away here with a 4-3 victory against the Hammers. I'm absolutely gutted, but there's nothing we can do on this occasion, and Andy Carroll gets the last laugh on this occasion. But anyway guys, that is going to bring an end to the episode. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you leave a like and comment about the debates and questions down below, and obviously a like does mean you're enjoying the series and does help me out a lot. If you want to see more of this West Ham United Next Gen Career Mode plus FIFA 14 Ultimate Team content, then hit that subscribe button logo in the top corner of the video, and it will notify you whenever I upload a new video. And as always guys, I'll catch you next time. See ya!